Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to Basement Chronicles, the Sunday interview. Boy, have I got a ball of energy for you. We've already started laughing, already started getting into the conversation. So I am so happy to bring to you my guest today, Dr. Shelley Morgan, who's also a PhD candidate. So we're going to ask her to kind of just explain that to us. Okay, what did I do there? There she is. Hey, Dr.
Thank you.
Shelley.
Hey.
Hi. How you
Hi,
doing?
Lisa.
Oh my
I
gosh.
am fabulous. I am so
Absolutely.
excited to be down in the basement with you. I love it.
Yes, and you were just arguing to leave the dog. Did you see that he just passed out?
I
Like
know
he left.
he's a part of the Basement Chronicles. Come
He is.
on.
Yeah, he is. He
Yeah.
absolutely is. So thank you for that. It's so nice to have you. I just want
Mhm.
to tell, like, I met you at a Woman Nation event, and I was
Yes.
like, who is this? I've got to know her. In my usual way. So I'm going to first ask you to introduce yourself and tell us what you do and how is it you have I do the Caribbean thing, put my hand under my chin and say to you, but you have a PhD already, so you're doing another one? Go ahead.
Well, yes, child. There's a story behind all of that. So, I am a lover of life. I migrated here from Jamaica in 2018 with my husband. So we currently live in Edmonton, same place where you live, and really having a wonderful, wonderful time. So back in Jamaica, I actually was passionate about um, dancehall fashion, Jamaican fashion, because I worked with Kingsley Cooper at Pulse, and did Miss
Oh,
Universe. We did Caribbean Fashion Week. And it was just a wonderful experience. And one of the questions I had after working with Kingsley was, what exactly is this Jamaican dress aesthetic? And I was just asking this question while working with him, and somebody was like, you could actually do a PhD at
mm-hmm.
UE to actually,
Uh-huh.
learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, didn't even understand what PhD meant because I had just done my master's in business administration. And long story short, had a wonderful time doing my PhD. Met my husband Garfield, started teaching at the
Wow.
universities, and then decided, time for change. I just had and I've been living that way ever since. So here I am
Full
now.
of life. Yeah.
Decided that I would, you come to a new country, you see the opportunities. And I was actually, my thesis supervisor in Jamaica was Dr. Sonia Stanley Naya. And she was the
Mm-hmm.
first person I heard said, I'm going to do a second doctorate. And I was like, I was in the middle of my first one. I was like,
Is that
this
even
lady,
possible?
she's mad. Came here, realized that I could. So I really am passionate about aging and aging well, and even more so sharing the information, because in 2025 it is really knowledge that is king.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came here, did a lot of volunteer work, a lot, got into the graduate diploma
Mm-hmm.
in aging and health at Queen's University, then did the master's, and now doing the doctorate in rehabilitation health leadership.
But that's such a
So
change from the first
I
PhD to,
know.
oh my goodness. Like, is it like representing different parts of you or
Yes,
where you are at in
yes,
life? Like, how do you account
yes.
for those differences from dancehall fashion to, wow, now talking about aging? That's amazing.
Well, I think I've always, when I was in
Hmm.
Jamaica, I would really, when I see older adults, I would ask them advice. It could be it's stranger, people I knew. Just ask, is there any lessons you wanted? And I really knew that knowledge wasn't aging. And that my mother always told me, you don't have to make all the mistakes. You can look what people do and don't do it, or look what people
Yeah.
did at work and do it. So I've always been passionate about aging and aging well.
Okay.
Um, but then I was
Yeah.
I
You want to
I
talk
went
about,
through
yeah.
my yeah man, I went through my breast cancer journey, and then
Hmm.
it just clicked, girl. Age is a blessing. At
Okay.
38, it could have been
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
I was like, what? I
So,
ain't go I ain't invisible. I can die. So for me, it really made me even more passionate that at 45, this is good. And I'm
Wow.
excited to see what I am and who I will be at 65, 75, 85. And I have a friend that's 94 now, and she is just fantastic. And I'm like, listen, girl, I what will I be doing at 94? You know?
Wow.
And
Oh my
and so
goodness.
I really do follow my passion. I really do. I love learning. My mother is a retired teacher. And
Uh-huh.
so that was what I do. That's what I've done best is learn
All
and
these
teach. And
years.
because knowledge really can change your life. Even in my
Yeah.
cancer journey, learning about fasting during chemotherapy changed how
Oh wow. So you
I
still
went
do
through
it?
that process.
Mm-hmm.
A training for bodybuilding competition
Yeah, we
also,
had to
and
talk
I,
about that because Miss Lady is living life. Okay, all right. So if you're joining me, let me just say hi to our Instagram people. It's not showing really well. If you guys want to join us on LinkedIn or YouTube or on Facebook, you might be able to see the double image. It's splitting it on Instagram. I do apologize, but I just needed to tell people that we were on Instagram and then to hop over to LinkedIn. I hope they don't kick me off Instagram for doing that, but you really have a better experience if you are joining us on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook. So I want to encourage you guys to go over there and to really see what we're talking about. So, I mean, you just accidentally, not accidentally, just told us your age. How are you 45? How? Like, how? Like, I met a lady last night. Okay, it's a strange question because last night was when African women talk. They had their rooted in diaspora event. It was wonderful. This
Mhm.
lady came to sit next to me and she started talking. And this lady, like she, pretty lady, just looks so young, so just well put together. And she's like, "Okay, yeah, I have 6 kids." So I blurted out, and I have to stop doing that. Well, how do you have 6 kids? Like, how do you mean how you have 6 kids? And I'm like, what does having 6 kids look like, Lisa? Like, is there a look for 6 kids? But it's
Mhm.
just, I think what we're pointing to is the fact that in spite of having responsibility and
Yeah.
in spite of advancing in age, that ability to keep yourself health wise, mental
Mhm.
health wise, emotionally, all of the things. So
Yes.
you're passionate about that.
Yes. Yes.
That's
And
your
it
why.
it 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 gets better every day. Um
Yeah.
it and the thing about aging, and I tell this is my claim to fame now.
Right.
Aging is not for 20-year-old, meaning that you don't just wake up and be 70. You have to
Yeah.
earn those 70 years. And with
Talk
those
about
70
that.
years, you have the resilience, you have the experience. And but you have there's also a need for a lot of self-reflection as well. So
Right.
you
Right.
really to be 70 and to really live that 70, 80, 90, 60, whatever that those wonderful numbers are, you have to have that track record and that
Mm-hmm.
experience and that process of reflection with
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of education about what to expect, how you should, engage your years, because things change. And I'm
So,
not glorifying, because I know aging,
mhm.
it can be mucky. It can be, it is a challenge, but only for
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
brave with
okay.
experience.
Would experience that. Well, I mean, we're gonna age anyway. I can hear people saying, "Okay, we're gonna age anyway."
Yeah,
So it seems to me, however, you're pointing to a mindset first of all, because some
it is
people,
a
by the time, yeah, like they reach 50 and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going downhill." Oh right, it's just next to the grave for me. What is 3 score and 20? That's what I have. Like, what is this? You're just starting life. Is it
you're
a
just
mindset,
starting life.
Shelley?
It is a
Yeah.
mindset and understanding that in 2025,
Mm-hmm.
with where technology is, with where
Oh.
medical breakthroughs are,
Uh-huh.
my 45 is different from 45 in 1920. It's different
Yeah.
from 45 in 1782, you know?
Okay.
And
All right.
so we really have to realize that no other generation has
Mm-hmm.
experienced this, that I can start a new career.
Wow.
When I graduate next year, I'll be 46, 47. Start a new career
Wait, are you
with,
planning to
with
do another PhD, Dr. Shelley? Okay.
no,
What are you?
no. The only thing on my wish list now is fluent French. So after that,
All
then
right.
I tackle French. But
Awesome. I'm sure you're
you
gonna
know,
crush it, eh?
we really have to realize that in 2025 and beyond,
Mm-hmm.
it is really up to us with knowledge, with
Mm-hmm.
where science is, where nutrition is, where strength training is, what you can do and manipulate the body from mind to internal to exterior, to really enjoy. And so
Mm-hmm.
information and education, for me, that is where I come in. I want to engage all those who know and really break it down and really share that knowledge, because a lot of people, I mean, you some people say, all of a sudden we turn 50, what do I
It
do? What
wasn't
do I do at
right. Like
65?
me
You
turning
know,
50 this year, right? Yeah, yeah.
look at
Um,
you, beautiful.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. I no, I feel both 50, and I see the youth of it, and how having, I think, like a childlike wonder at the world.
Oh
It
yes,
makes a
yes,
difference in how
yes, it
you
does.
approach life and how you keep yourself young, instead of taking on, oh, I'm old already, and yeah, those knees are not
Mhm,
supposed to work, and I'm like, no,
mhm.
I'm supposed to have strong knees. God is good. So let's do something about this. I'm not going out like this. That's like my latest thing. But I wanted to ask you, at what age do you think somebody? You notice we have not even. Oh, Shelley, I think we perhaps just need to acknowledge something's happening in the back. Do you hear? What is it? Is it a siren in the back? Do you hear it?
Oh, it is the wind,
Oh,
because it's a windy day and I'm on the 15th floor.
oh, right. Okay, okay. I think I'm hearing like sirens or something in the back. But if anybody's hearing them, that's okay. I think the knowledge like far supersedes just the little interference we're having. We know we just kind of need to say that, just, it's the right thing to say. But I'm hearing some stuff in the back, and I'm not sure what exactly it is. But let's move on. At what age do you think we should start to take on the subject? When does it start to matter, in your opinion?
From birth.
Oh, wow.
Because you see, as in, but it's kind of not practical, because when you're a teenager, all you can think about, all your hormones working and all these things go
What? Right,
overdrive.
waist
So you,
snatch.
you're not,
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
you're not able. But I tell older adults that how you age is also a part of your legacy.
Okay.
How you engage with your aging process, how you accept, how you educate yourself and go to the gym at 75 and ensure you get your walk in during winter time. All
Yeah.
of that is teaching those the younger ones to look at you, to know, to
Mm.
say, oh, but granny never stopped going to the gym, or she
Oh yeah.
always get up at 6 o'clock and make breakfast and go for a walk and meet up with our friends and go to church and do all these things. That is your legacy as well. So that
Hmm.
kind of conversation about aging, about menopause, about
Yes.
reduce mobility should not be something that is shunned in conversations in the family and in social settings. So that how you start is right now.
Hmm.
And so
Okay, wherever
you
you are.
begin that wherever
Okay.
you are.
Yeah. Okay. So what kinds of conversations are you having with people around aging? So yeah, what are the questions you ask first of all? And let's start there, because I have a ton. We haven't even touched the questions I sent you. You realize that, Miss
I
Lady?
know,
I'm just
I
saying we haven't
know,
even
I know,
started.
I know,
Okay.
I know. So as we mentioned, I'm actually working on my research proposal, and that research proposal hopefully will look at digital literacy in Jamaican Canadians, the levels of digital literacy here in Alberta for Jamaican Canadians, the how the need that they have and their learning preference, because we live in a quite a digitized country and digitized world, and so that is
Mhm.
at the core of it. So conversations that I have, especially, so I told you about my 94-year-old friend. I'm helping write
Yes.
her memoir,
Mm.
and I'm still at that stage in my life from in my 20s where I really ask questions. How you find being 60? How is it being 95? 94, and she was like, well, yesterday we had a conversation, and she was that at 89, 90, she felt that change in her
Oh
mental
wow.
abilities. And so
Mm.
last 2 weeks ago, she actually moved from her condo into an assisted living. and
Oh
she
man.
loves it. But it's the attitude. She was like, Shelly, come and let me show you my
Mm.
apartment. And she was like, I feel like I'm on a cruise. And
Woo!
for me, and we went to dinner there, and she tipped the girl $1, and it
Oh,
was just fantastic. And for me, it that positivity at different stages in life is what I'm also interested in. And I find that persons who have that awareness, because she's 94 and she said, Shelly, I don't drink anymore. I don't go to bars. That's not my crowd. And it's all right because I've enjoyed it,
And
And she goes,
okay, for a
I don't
94
even
year
need
old
to,
to say that, yeah, for a 94-year-old to say that,
but
that person
there's
definitely seems
also
like they have life. Yeah. Go
but there's
ahead.
also lifelong learning
Yeah.
because my friend, she actually just discovered hockey. She's lived in Alberta all her life, but she has her Oilers jersey now. She's all about the hockey.
What?
So getting excited about life at different stages, being in that assisted living, she's excited. She takes part in everything. She's already planning a fashion show. She's like, Shelly, will you be one of my models? I'm like,
Well,
yes.
I first saw you modeling. I was like, who's this lady? You were modeling at a woman mission. It was so great. It was just awesome. But why
So
does it seem like yeah, no, please go
go
ahead. Go ahead. Finish
No,
your thought.
so you asked me what questions. I think
Uh-huh.
I'm really inspired by
Mm-hmm.
older adults and adults
Mm-hmm.
who really understand
Mm-hmm.
what aging is, that it is a blessing. That is also it requires deliberate actions and self-awareness, and more so to educate yourself about the next step,
Yeah.
preparing your will, having that
Yes.
conversation. How do you want your funeral? Those are hard conversations and they hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That reality that we're nowhere, we will no longer be. It's a very frightening, but I think that it allows you to live even greater. When you say, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I've taken care of my business. Now at 85, what next?
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more,
Hey.
in other words.
Yeah.
I just want to take
Yeah.
in this comment from Elsa. Elsa says, life is meant to be lived, and we need to create the life we want. And
And
like, yeah, go ahead.
that adjective, that verb, create,
Create.
it is an
Yeah.
action word. And
Yeah.
live is action.
Mm-hmm.
It takes deliberate steps. It takes, and sometimes we don't even realize that some of the things that we want as we age, we have control over them.
Because as you age, there is that almost expectation that you lose power, you lose that ability to control yourself and to control your life. So, how is that true or untrue? How much power do we can we have, and what have you discovered from the research about? Oh my goodness, this wind is angry in the back there. Are you hearing it? Oh my
I
goodness.
know, I know, I know. So sorry, the 15th floor kills me with the wind.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Wow. Yeah.
so you know, we all we all
Mm-hmm.
think we have a lot of
Uh-huh.
power over our lives.
Right.
But there are things that
Mm-hmm.
we have control over, and some obviously we don't. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
going through breast cancer, I had no control over what happened, but I could control my attitude in the doctor's office. I could control how I rocked that ball head after 4 rounds of chemotherapy.
Hey,
I could
and
control
you
my
are.
dedication to fitness, um and that's why I talk about deliberate steps,
Yeah.
because if you think you're going to lose power, or you realize that you're going to need additional help, make the plans, get your lawyer,
Even that is
build
powerful,
that,
isn't it?
yeah, get
Yeah.
get that relationship, get some younger people,
Mm-hmm.
get some people around you that you trust, build those plans in place that, all right, I live in this house, 75, I think we're going to start minimalize and start looking. You have people who actually go to retirement homes and ask to spend a day, ask to spend a weekend to see how it feels. That is being proactive.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't, you can't, age don't make you powerless.
That
because
is
it's
it right
something
there.
that happened one day at a time. So if you are really, and again, these are the deliberate actions that you
Mm-hmm,
plan, that you think about.
mm-hmm,
What do I need at 80? What do I need at 90? Because these are the numbers we have to be thinking about. Even when you have children. Suppose I'm in Canada now, and my kids decide that they want to go and live in France. How are you going to support yourself here in Canada? Can
yeah,
you
that
still
is a
manage
worthy one.
to shovel that snow? Do you need to move and build a community in a 55 plus
Mm-hmm,
housing situation where build new friends? No, have a
mm-hmm.
plan. It and so it's very action oriented.
Wow. Listen, like I like to like set this. I like to really just set the stage, just checking with people where they're at in the interview. And for me, like what's happening is just to realize, hey, wait a minute, you do have options in getting older. You've got options, you've got power, you get to decide certain things. And I hope people are
Mm-hmm.
feeling that way now, looking around your life and be like, okay, I'm getting older. What are the things I can do now to make getting older and aging a, a great process, number one? And how
Yeah.
much power do I really have? Let me just give you an example. So I run, and I realized I used to have these in a lot, Shelley. Like I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about an hour at a time, just sometimes on the long runs more than an hour. And then I began to realize, honestly, that I think my hearing was becoming like I wasn't hearing. You know what happens when you have these in all the time? That's what I don't even want to.
Yeah.
I don't really want to
Compromise.
say it. Okay, I
There's
don't
a,
really want to say it.
there's
Okay.
a, there's a tad bit, tad bit
Oh yeah,
compromise. Yeah.
compromise. There's a
Yeah.
tad bit compromise.
Tad
And I
bit.
thought long term. I thought to when I would be older and still wanted to be running, that I needed to develop a habit right now that I could sustain. And I didn't think it, I to lose your hearing that way. So
Mm-hmm.
now I've started like just using my phone, and if I'm running outside, nobody's around. And obviously, if I'm hearing, I just put it low and I run on the treadmill. But I remember having that particular thought
Yeah.
that if I continue like this, I
Yes.
might lose my hearing in the future.
Yes.
And it seems to me these are the kinds of decisions that we have control over right now in every area of
Yes.
life for the
Yes.
future. Yeah,
Yes.
I think
And
that's great.
one of just as you talk about that, it just dawned on me.
Yeah,
One of the things we always have control over is our attitude or
yeah.
emotions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one of my
Fairness.
thing is
Mm-hmm.
happy and healthy. But you know what comes first? Happy. Because I know from experience that health is very fleeting. But how my positive attitude can really support me when health is a little wonky. So attitude is also and you learn that from the years of living, that you don't need to worry. It always work out beautiful. That hard
Yeah,
work always pay off. That a little dip in seemingly failure, that little dip in life is always leading to something bigger. So aging in your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, your hundreds, you really have to pull on all the lessons that you've learned. And one that I've learned is that my attitude and
mm-hmm.
my appreciation for life attracts what I need at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
if that's how I see it.
No, this is very deep. You guys feel that what I'm feeling right now. It's like, okay, my goodness, this is very a very valuable conversation to have, and almost like if you were maybe afraid of aging, I think today you get hope from hearing this conversation. And if you're that person who's already like, yes, you'd be like, yes, Dr. Shelley, let's go. Just say it. Just say it.
But my thing I
Oh
always say is, what is the
my God. Yeah.
alternative to aging? It is
Dying? What is
exactly.
it?
It
Yeah.
is. It is. No,
Right.
it is a
No,
blessing.
so if you're saying the opposite to aging is die, you're actually looking at aging as a life-giving and life-sustaining process. My
But
God,
it
what?
is. It is. It is so beautiful. And
Ah,
you get to really sit after 40, 50 years of the hustle and really design that,
Yeah.
really
Wow. And to
design
do
that
it
experience.
tastefully. Yeah.
And
I always
and
say,
and you
like,
know what?
go ahead. Uh-huh.
It's so excited.
Yeah,
But
I know, right? And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Go ahead.
I was thinking the other day that just like how our DNA is unique, just like our fingerprint is unique, that is our
Hmm.
aging process as well. So you can't look on Tom, Jill, and Harry. You really have to say, Shelley, what is your medical history? What is your emotional history? What do you need to work on? What do you need to do? I have an eating problem. I know I can be a little gluttonous. So I go Overeaters Anonymous. I'm doing the bodybuilding, learning more about eating healthy,
Mm-hmm.
eating whole food, making sure that I'm satiated. I
Mm-hmm.
have a plan for that. So nobody look upon Dr. Shelley and think, say, yeah, she have it done. Look upon her 45. No, it's a serious work in progress. Because
Yeah, yeah.
even with this paper that I'm working on, I have to be very deliberate that I go to my bed at 9 o'clock because sleep is golden. Don't let nobody
Mm-hmm.
fool you.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep is medicine. How
It
else
is.
are you going to heal? So I go to my bed, but I get up at 4:30. So I have to go to my
Mhm.
bed early.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with me. Like, yeah, for sure. If you go to bed, if you wake up early, you have to like go to bed early. It makes sense. So I'm curious in terms of, I know that your research is geared towards the digital literacy of people who are aging, people who are getting older. So how do you bring in these other aspects of aging into the conversation? Because I hear you are speaking about all of the things, the scientific things, the mental things. Does that feature in your research, or is it just information that you're gathering for this big movement that you clearly have started?
Yes, so it is all for the
Yes,
big movement.
yes,
But
yes.
the dissertation really allows me, and I've just been learning about different adult education, gerontology led
Mm,
educational theories. So my thing is again about teaching, about providing information, and providing information in a way that it is palatable, that is exciting, because my love a exciting class, yeah,
yes.
and that is accessible.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
and everybody know that once you've done um that kind of research, you just try to do, you really just kind of dropping a little speck in the bucket.
Yes,
um
like
but
now,
but
right?
hope but
Mm-hmm,
hopefully it will generate enough conversation within you and your
mm-hmm.
thesis committee that they say, oh, because now I'm just really excited about the theory of adult education, because that is what I'm about. And it just
Yeah.
happens that digital literacy is so important, and that a lot of our community here in Canada, or Jamaican Canadian, and or right across the immigrant community, that digital literacy is an issue.
Mm-hmm,
And the data show that while as immigrants we come here, so you come here at 25, express entry,
mm-hmm.
you are actually healthier than somebody born in Canada. That's what the statistics says at 25. However, as the decades go, you age worse.
Okay, we need to talk about that. Like, let's just pause a little bit because that statistic is well, a bit frightening, but let's explore it a little bit. That if you come here younger from an immigrant society, you are healthier, but the
Yeah.
stats show that
Immigrants.
you
It's called
immigrants
the, yeah,
age.
yeah. It's
Wow, they
called the
age
immigrant
worse.
effect.
Okay,
And it's just
great.
a couple
Yes.
years ago that they realized that the immigrant effect done when you start age.
Whoa.
When by the time you reach 65, you're actually aging worse.
Oh my
And
goodness. We need
while
to explore that. Mm-hmm. Shirley, let
because
me just tell people to hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, you might have just heard about this today and just clicked, but then if you subscribe on to Basement Chronicles on YouTube, every single based Sunday interview, you'll get a notification, and so you would miss it. So, for example, Shirley, if I may, next week we're going to be having Debbie Beaver, who is
yeah,
Canadian born and is a local historian. So we're looking forward to that. So you want to
Yeah.
hit the subscribe button because you wouldn't have known about Shelley's interview if you were not a subscriber, or if you had not just, seen it on Facebook or something. So do that for me, please. And let's get back now into the research. Like, how is that a thing? I thought, like, if you ate all of the yam and all of the good food back home, what happens when we get here into this society that affects us negatively?
Well, that data recently came out, and we're still learning about
Parsing.
why.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
thing about research in minority groups, it really takes minority scholars to do the
Mm-hmm.
research. So
Mm-hmm.
my contribution to this is to look at digital literacy. And so there's no data that speaks to digital literacy in the Black Canadian community, and specifically the Jamaican
Mm-hmm.
Canadian community. So my
Mm-hmm.
research will look to kind of locate what exactly is the digital literacy level in that community here in Alberta. And because we know that digital literacy or low digital literacy can actually create um, low self-efficacy, increased isolation, increased probability of being scammed,
Exactly. Yep.
actually poor living, because you're not able to access information that can support you eliminating diabetes, that can encourage you to go on YouTube and do exercise even if it's minus 44.
Mm.
So it really does make a difference. So the research is happening. We have many minority scholars who are really digging into what is it that is causing immigrants to not age as well as their Canadian born counterparts. So it's ongoing. But for me, I can see where, personally, when I come from Jamaica, girl, I never knew about just taking a walk. When I was, because we
Talk
were in
about
Montreal before, my
it.
friends in Montreal, all born in Canada, would go, Shirley, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, walk?
In this, especially in this weather, like what?
I mean,
Just
like,
start it
walk? What are you talking about? And so I started going on these walks, these hour-long walks, these just walking in the country, just walking in the city. And you and I know that walking is as good
Yeah,
as any exercise. It is
exercise.
wonderful. You just need to Google what walking does for you.
Yeah.
So just adapting that. And so I go for walks in minus 22. I went on my first winter festival. I was
Wow.
walking in minus 32 for about 2 hours, just walking up and down, dancing and enjoying and doing myself.
I
So
feel very
really,
convicted right now. Very convicted. Because I have
so you
seen runners, like I've seen runners out there in the winters, like this Caribbean girl, and no, oh no, we're not doing it, right? But I wonder if that is that limiting belief that perhaps
yes,
adds to our isolation and lack of
yes,
exercise because
yes,
we live in a place where there's 6 months of winter. So you
yes,
have to
yeah,
get around
yeah.
even
You
in
have
those
to.
times. So I wonder whether that might be something that would contribute to us having poorer health as we
Yes,
get older because like we're more sedentary even from a
we
health point of view because you don't think it's your
because
environment. Yeah. Oh
exactly.
my
But
gosh.
hear what? It is the environment. Because even the
Exactly.
Jamaican Association, I wanted to meet with the older adults here, some of them here in Edmonton. And I was told by the organizer that they don't come out during winter. But
Oh my
yesterday
gosh.
I was seeing,
Hibernation.
yeah, and I'm but you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
That's one of the things. You have to move. You have to
Yeah.
engage.
Oh my god, this is so
Because
good.
the
Yeah.
summer is just so short anyway. So you're going to do what? 2, 3 months? And then the other 9, what are you going to do? So there is a way of immigrating and maintaining one's identity. But the fact of the matter is, if you come to a space that culture is totally different from yours, you have to watch what other people doing and embrace some of those actions that can support you
Hmm.
aging in this space. So your
Hmm.
girl be walking in the cold and just be meeting people and going to festivals like nobody's business. because that is how you do it.
Oh my gosh. So I want to, I'm spotlighting you so you can just speak directly to especially our older immigrants and to just highlight the need for, what you've been talking about. So just please go ahead, take it away. Yeah.
So we've chosen, some of us, majority of us, have chosen to come to this country. It's a country that is totally different from backyard, from Jamaica, from St. Kitts, from St. Lucia. But we also have to realize that you cannot mistake this girl for a straight Canadian. My accent, my attitude is Jamaican. But this body is going to be aging in Canada. And we all know indigenous uh, societies. We all know all of these people that have been here that continue to call this home. There are certain actions that we have to take to maintain our vibrancy and to embrace aging well in this space. It takes nothing of you to have a walk in a little minus
Mhm.
15, a little minus 20, to ensure that you're going out in the community, to ensure that you are participating in different activities that the government engages as it relates to older adults.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
research shows that when we don't do that, when we isolate ourselves, when we do they instead of we, as we age, it serves us no good.
Wow, that is amazing. And Shari, I mean, while you're speaking, I'm, just seeing how this is going to play out. We've spoken about what we're planning and speaking and all of that, and it's very clear where this is heading. That this kind, and I see that the push for education on these
Yes,
matters is so important,
yes,
and for people to hear it from people who are
yes,
walking the walk. So,
yeah.
Miss Lady, let's talk now about what's actually on our list of questions, because you are a living example of what you are studying and what you believe in. And so tell us what's the newest update in your life where like you're living life like it's really golden. Like, I mean, this is the best time of your life. Tell us
you
about
know,
your exercise journey and all of that and the bodybuilding. My God.
well,
Yeah.
I started working out back in Jamaica in my early
Mm-hmm.
20s
Mm-hmm.
and fell in love with it. I've worked out through thick and thin, through all my health journeys, because I've known for a very long time. And again, the research shows weightlifting, exercise. You'd never hear me talk about anti aging. But if I were to be forced to say something
Mm-hmm.
could
Oh
actually
God.
help you turn back the clock, if you kept Aki and Salfish away from me, I would tell you it
It
would
would
be
be,
exercising, it would be
yes.
weightlifting, it would be
Hey.
moving your body. So I have been, and I tell people I've been doing this for 20 odd years. It does not get easier. My husband would tell you my clock goes off at 4:30. I get up, put on my gym clothes, ready myself, and I come out of the bed and I go and lie down in the sofa for another 5-10 minutes.
I know.
And when I go during winter time, the front desk people at the gym, they think it's so funny. I am so wrapped up. You can only see my eyes because
But you there.
I have to comfort myself. So you have to
Yeah.
do what you have to do. It does
Yeah.
not get
Oh
easier,
my God.
but the rewards, the movement, the mental clarity, the good
Yes.
vibe, the happiness, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just the research that shows it. But I am
And
living that
aren't, don't you
research.
feel stronger? Like
Oh,
that's why I still go, that I just the feeling of strength of being able
strength. Yes,
to have an upright body,
yes,
and you feel your muscle. I feel
yes,
stronger because of
yes,
weightlifting, because, and it's not
yes.
even like you're lifting it to, as they say, okay, I'm afraid to look like a man. You know how women say that
Oh
a lot.
no.
Yeah,
You
but I
can't.
mean, no.
Uh,
How are we gonna do that?
unless
No.
you get some juice, but we ain't juicing
Yeah.
here. We're
No, we're not
natural,
juicing
so
here.
that will happen. That will never
Right.
happen. That will never
Yeah.
happen.
Okay, so you've been
So
weightlifting for a while, or you've been exercising for
I've
a
been
while?
weightlifting for about 20, nearly 25
Whoa!
years now. Yeah. So I'll be doing my first bodybuilding competition in June. So
Wow.
I am not in the cutting phase yet. I'm still bulking. I think
Okay.
my maintaining trying to maintain at this
What's bulking
calorie.
for you? Because I mean, Shelly's petite, okay? You are petite. Like, so
I'm
what's bulking?
five
Oh,
three and a
5'3".
half.
Wow. Yeah, add on the half. Thank
The
you very
half.
much.
Very important. Very
Yeah,
important.
yeah, very important.
Um,
Yep.
important. Yeah, but yeah, I this is the first time going through it with a coach, so I am just amazed
Yeah.
at what this process is. And I told you earlier that I do have some issues with eating a little bit too much, and
Yeah. I have to talk to you about that. Yeah. We have
and
to talk
so
about that. I have a feeling. Yeah.
because I have been eating really good foods, keeping the calories are going higher, like every just been going up higher. I am so satiated, and I never realized that eating junk food make you hungry.
Yeah. Oh,
Eating
wow.
rubbish make you hungry,
So
and
you're
so
eating more
clean,
protein
nice,
and
yeah, more
yeah.
protein, very little processed food. So it really it's a learning process for me as well
Mhm.
because I I have, we all know what our shortfalls are. And it is those shortfalls that we know that will affect us as we get older that we need
Yeah.
to start looking to ourselves. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, I've tried Overeaters Anonymous, I've tried therapy, I've tried all kind of
Mm.
things. I've tried even fasting the wrong way as well.
Yeah.
But this is another way, and I think I am enjoying the process.
Yeah,
To
I'm
so
so happy you brought that up. I imagine there are a lot of more people who are going through exactly that. Like now
mhm,
you're talking about it, I'm like, okay, I probably need to check in with Shelly, see if I'm there myself. I used to suffer from an eating disorder, like eating disorder,
yeah,
not
I
like,
know.
oh, you just eat. There, I had
Yeah.
was on medication and all of the things. And I've just found like in the last year or so, it's probably because of the onset of perimenopause or all of that, that
Yeah.
it's not as easy to control my diet anymore. It's just
Yeah.
not as easy as it used to be. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on? At the same time, having problems with my foot, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you address something, like you take some time and look at exactly what is
Yes.
happening, you might be able to
Yes.
get an answer. So like
Yes.
you and I are gonna talk.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, that kind of sounds about right. So weightlifting in June. So what are you entering? Like which category are you?
Okay,
Are you?
I'm going into figure. I'm doing
Ooh,
figure. Girl, I
okay.
don't even know what that mean. But them say me at the figure. And so me have one posing court. Posing supposed to start next month. So
Ooh,
make me see
wow.
how it turn out. But
Yeah, that's
again,
nice.
what I've learned from friends that I really admire as a age is you do the things that are new and exciting. Don't be fearful. So my 94-year-old friend, Del Dilke, she
Mhm.
actually bodybuilt in her 70 when she was 70, 71, 72, and 73. She did four
Right
years
here
of
in
bodybuilding right
okay,
here
here
in
in Canada.
Edmonton.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
right here in Edmonton. Um, so we have even spoken about or overeating because she's a short girl as well, and
Mm,
so and that is where community is important, and talking about aging and talking about perimenopause and talking about menopause and talking about issues that we have and talking about, boy, Lisa, I really want to go to the gym. How you do it every day? See
mm.
each other as, because community is
Inspiration.
important. Yeah. I came
Yeah.
here to Edmonton with one word: community. And I know, especially as a child free woman, that I have to build community. And my community must be multi generational. I have to be very
Absolutely.
deliberate in my
Mm.
friendships. Again, my core family is in Jamaica and in Montreal.
Okay,
you
you have
know.
family in
So
Montreal.
you
Okay.
have to be very deliberate. I have to say, okay, what is going to ensure that I age well? Okay, I need some friends. I need some friend family. I need to start
Yeah.
investing in this. Which lawyer are you using? Okay, this we need to do. How am I going to sustain bodybuilding? Okay, I need to have a gym in where I'm living
Mm-hmm.
or next. So these are the things, you know. What am I going to do? And pick people's brain. Ask,
Yeah.
how
People are
how
willing
are
to
you
give
living? Yeah,
information.
they
Yeah.
are. They
Well,
are.
yeah, but sometimes you don't. Okay, here's the thing with asking. So, yes, last night, everybody who's listening who's here in Edmonton and knows this, I forgot Funke's last name, but we have she's a city councillor, well known in this in the community, and the head of the Nigerian Canadian Association.
Mm,
Shelley, this girl is cut up, okay? So, I took my fast self last night and I saw her at the event. I was like, so you must work out a lot. Let me tell you, do you know what the answer was? I don't know if I wanted to ask that question again. She says, no, no, I don't. No, I don't. Like, she is toned. She is lean. And she's like, no, it's just the jeans. It's just jeans. I said, what? Okay. Let me just pass myself to the gym, okay? Because no jeans here.
no jeans here.
Some
These
people have
jeans
it.
passed me long time. Some people
What?
have it.
Yeah.
And
Some people just have it. Hmm.
again, you have to put on your blinkers. You learn,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
your mental
Hmm.
experience, what you go through as a child, your physical experience, your work experience is unique to you. And all of those will contribute to how you go through the other decades to ahead of
Hmm.
you.
Yeah, what I hear from everything, if I may be presumptuous as to sum up a little bit, is just that intentionality, as I think Sienna was saying earlier, that we have to be intentional about how we put ourselves
Yes,
together and pay
yes,
particular attention to yourself
yes,
because you are that important. I hear
yes,
you saying that and living that
yes,
out, like that
yes,
that makes a lot of sense.
yes.
That makes a lot of sense. I have
Because
a couple, yeah.
if I don't take care of me, nobody else will.
Yeah, nobody's coming to save you. Like
And
nobody.
when
You have a
I
responsibility.
suffer alone. Nobody feels it.
And also, like, if you don't take care of yourself, the likelihood that your family's going to suffer because they would have to bear the financial burden, the time burden, and the everything of taking care of you, that is higher. So we have added impetus and
Yes.
incentive to take care of ourselves. So, Shelley, I have a couple other questions. My
All
gosh, we haven't
right.
even got to the questions. Just before we end, we have to end a little early today. I wanted to speak about so you're not on social media. That's the first thing.
No,
Well,
no.
you're not, but your husband is,
Yes.
and you're all over his social media. That is so cute. Like just seeing the photos of the two of you almost looking alike, like the glasses just looking like two funky people living life. And he looks like he builds that he body builds as well. Is that true?
He
Like he
works
looks like
out. Yes, he
he
works
works
out.
out as
He's
well.
quite
Oh my
lean. Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, quite lean. Like, I'm gonna invite him on the show in a couple of weeks because he's a renowned artist here in the city and has been doing his thing. I think even back in Jamaica, from what I saw.
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
to go on his page to find you. So I was curious about your philosophy on love. Because I mean, the reason I'm asking is because y'all just look like there's two souls that found each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that. I was in my late 20s when I decided I was always a party girl. I thought I was in the fashion
Hey,
industry, dancehall fashion. So I
dancehall.
am.
So who's okay?
It
Before you
was.
go, right? So who's your favorite dancehall artist? Who is your favorite one?
No man, you put me on the spot. Stop it. Stop it. Make we talk about love. Because you want people
Hey,
you want people to
speedy
hate
man.
me. You want people to hate me. All right. So make
Right,
we talk about love.
right.
So
Okay.
I remembered reading this article with this woman who wrote 100 qualities she wanted in her future husband. So one day I came back in my bachelorette pad because I had one of those places where the fridge only had ice
Hello.
and wanting a mackerel in the cupboard. That was my life. I ate out every day.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember coming home and decided, I want commitment now, late 20s. And I wrote my 100 list, tore it up, toss it. And on one of the lists was he must appreciate art. So the next day and days after, I decided to use my lunch break to go to different galleries in Kingston just to walk around because I believe in faking it till I make it.
Wait,
And
and was that
so
coming out of you writing that down? Is that
just
why when
writing,
you
yeah,
start?
just write, yeah. So if I wanted him to appreciate art, I needed also to appreciate art, and I never know a thing about art, right? So long story short, my thesis supervisor introduced me to him. He was my thesis supervisor's husband, best friend. We hit it off. The story he told me about going to Nacogdoches, Texas to do his MFA and his MA made me, I knew he was a excellent
A catch.
travel companion.
Okay.
And after 4 years, we tell him if he married me. Yeah.
What? What?
And
Wait. What?
after 4 years, I
Uh-huh.
decided that he needed to engage me.
Right. So you said
And
it.
yes, of course. And
Yeah, yeah.
he had heard of Reverend Byfield back in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And he had decided that we needed to go premarital counseling. So we went premarital counseling every Wednesday, every Tuesday for 2.5 years. So there has been consistent and deliberate action. So just like aging,
Yeah,
marriage and love
intentionality.
and
Yes.
relationship, it has to be very deliberate,
Yeah.
right?
And
And
talk, if
yeah,
I may, they
yes.
say that couples who get premarital counseling are more likely to survive than couples who
Hmm.
don't. I mean, this is intentionality all
Yeah,
over again,
yeah.
and
Because when
wisdom
we got
too.
married, we went to like a government building and got married because we never had no money. But we knew that the money had to go into premarital counseling. And so
Wow.
even though Reverend Byfield has passed away many years now, we still we still
Hmm.
refer to what we've learned. We still ensure that we hug multiple times a day. We are best
Yeah,
friends
and for the
to the
pictures as
extent
well, because you're hugging all over his pictures, okay? Oh,
that
go back.
we even look alike.
Yeah.
Um, hmm
Wow. It is
So
true. Do you think you
so
have
it
grown? Is it
happened.
true what they say about couples growing when you're that close? Like you grow to look like each other? You think that's or you guys perhaps looked alike before?
I think we looked
Because
alike
y'all look
before.
alike. Yeah, look
Yeah,
at
we
y'all,
looked
yeah.
alike
Make
before.
a fabulous couple.
So
Wow.
for love, just like aging, it is very things not just happen so. You have to put the
Mm,
work in it and you have to be very deliberate. You know, have
mm-hmm,
a good marriage just so. You have
mm-hmm.
a good marriage when you learn about yourself, when you understand what commitment is, when you've committed, when you have worked on yourself because you can't work on nobody else. Um, and you know what too? Gratitude. Gratitude
For the other person or for life.
for the other person and for life. Just straight, right? That's it. If I do
Mm-hmm,
anything, if I do
mm-hmm.
anything at all, I am just grateful.
Yeah. What
Grateful for right now. Right
yeah,
now.
just
Perfect.
being so. I'm very curious. What has been challenging for you? Um, yeah, that's that. I think that's the question. Like, what has been challenging? Because a lot has been. You've attacked life. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You've
I
taken
have
it by the
lived life.
horns. Yes, you've
Life
you've
has been
lived it.
good.
Yes, yeah.
I
When has
have
it
been
been difficult?
practicing life. I don't think like
Oh, I
that.
love that.
I have been practicing life. I practice smiling. I practice being positive. If I'm on the treadmill, I'm sure that I'm listening to something positive. So some things I don't. It, life happen, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hold on to anything, and and that is the beauty about aging. As I get older, I get better. I am not bitter. I am not envious anymore. I am just better. And I cannot imagine what I will be at 75. Yay.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that's just
Wow.
it.
This is exactly no, this is way more than I thought it would be. But your energy is just phenomenally powerful. You know that, right? Of course you know that. Yes, you know that. What? Shelley, can you imagine you're on stage speaking? So if you're listening today, when you hear this talk on aging, Unfortunately, you'll have to go to her husband's profile to get in touch with her or get it. But she's all over his profile. Go to look for Garfield Morgan, right? Right? I got the name right.
He is the greatest living artist,
Ay,
Garfield
yeah,
Morgan.
yeah,
Yes.
right.
Ay,
Because yeah,
ay,
he just
ay.
chose you, right?
Yeah.
And he's done. Y'all have done a lot. He's done a lot of work in the city as well, from what I see. The same
Yes.
community
Yes.
kind of spirit.
Yeah.
So it
Community,
really seems like,
community, community.
yeah,
Yes.
that's great. So if you're listening, Shelley's in the Think Meetups group, so you can say hi there. Although Levar said to make sure you answer your question, so you let
Yes, yes,
don't
yes.
forget
Mega
to answer your
answer, mega answer. Yeah, yeah. The paper due Tuesday.
right
Enough things for my head.
after Tuesday, right after you give up your stuff, right. But thank you so much, Shelley, for being here. Last question that I have for you before we end. We just want to end a little just before the time. I
Yes.
always have a curious question. I'm trying to do like the Stephen Bartlett thing. You know, this guy, the UK guy,
Okay.
he's all in gray and it's just like, right?
Okay.
And you always have
Okay.
a
Okay.
question. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
What do
Mm-hmm.
you want to know about that you don't know right now?
There are a lot of things I don't know.
Hmm.
What would I give up a plate of ackee and sawfish for that I
Those of you who
don't know
don't know,
now?
ackee and saltfish. Tell us about ackee and saltfish. You have to
It's
explain to
Jamaica's
people.
national
Jamaica's
dish.
national dish. It's actually very good. I've had it. I really, really like it. Have you had ackee and saltfish in the city? Have you had a good
Yes,
ackee and
yes,
saltfish
yes,
in the
yes,
city?
yes,
So you
yes,
you
yes,
found a
yes,
place.
yes,
You found your
yes,
place,
yes.
eh?
We have a place. We have a
Awesome.
place. Um, you know, I'm going to answer it a tricky way.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer that everything that happens to me, everybody that comes into my life, everything that I learn is destined for me.
Mm-hmm.
So and in the right time. So at this very moment, everything I need to learn and everything I need to know, I know.
So you
And
just told
everything
me
I
who. You
don't
just
know.
told me. All right. You just told me who was my question. That's what you did. You just told me who was my question. That's what you just did.
Because
In a
in the
fat way.
future, if I need to learn something and know something, it will come to me in perfect time and in perfect order. I need not
So in
worry
other
about
words,
that.
all of the energy is put into being in the now, isn't it?
Now it is. Yes.
My God, that's awesome. Okay, so we could go on and on, but we're gonna end right now. You guys, yeah. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And as I said, next week, let me just put that up again. Hopefully,
Mhm.
we have a chat with. Let me just see quickly. Debbie Beaver is
Yeah.
born here. She's Black Canadian Edmontonian, and let me just move this off. And she'll be here because what I found, Shelley, we didn't even talk
Yeah.
about being immigrant in a sense, but the experience of Black Canadians, people who are actually born here, that experience is radically different from
It
those
is.
of us who are immigrants. And
It
it's an
is.
interesting
It is.
conversation if we are
It
honest with
is.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm
Debbie and I
excited
have
for
spent,
it. Yes.
yes, absolutely. So she'll be
Totally
here. And
different.
oh, yes, it is. Like they don't feel or see things the way we do, even though we
Because
share.
because because I am Jamaican Canadian. You know what that makes
Yes.
me? A
What?
Jamaican Canadian. And
Canadian.
Jamaican is
Mm-hmm.
first. So
Yes.
my
Yeah.
identity
Oh,
is
wow.
solid as a rock.
Yeah,
Solid.
and it's different too because, like me, you came as a full-grown adult, and I think
Full
that
grown
adds
adult.
to
Yeah,
yes,
it
that
does.
adds to
It
the
does.
whole conversation. So
It
we're
does.
in for
It
great
does.
times. That's what I'm hoping to do with the show to highlight Black Canadians doing their
Hmm.
thing, immigrants, yes, but also we need to have different perspectives.
Yes.
That we get
Yes.
better, that we learn from each
Yes.
other, and we just make our shine bright in your corner, and like just brighten your corner of the world. That's my
Yeah.
little corny saying. All right. So thank you so much for being here, Shelley, and all the best in your research. I'm pretty sure there might be like a third doctorate down the line. I'm just saying, I think so, but who
No,
knows, right?
Lisa. No.
No,
No.
we'll see. But thanks for being here, and just that energy. That's it. That's the thing. That's your it factor right there. It is it. That's it. I'm telling you. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Shelley, any parting words?
um, Aging is a gift, a precious gift. Treat it as such.
Thank you. All right. See you. See you in the next chat. Bye, everybody. Take
Bye.